as we find in the Holy Quran, that they tasted of the prohibited tree when Shaitan came them and told them and encouraged them to taste of the prohibited tree, and he told them that they will get some special blessings. They tasted of the prohibited tree, and as a result, the garments of paradise which they have on their bodies vanished, and they remain naked. But all of us human beings, we are created on this nature to cover our body with clothes. And our parents were also of that nature. So as these garments were removed, they realized about their private parts or place of shame on their body, and they started to cover. وَالطَّفِقَا يَخْصِفَانِ عَلَيْهِمَا مِنْ وَرَقِ الْجَنَّةِ. They started to cover their bodies with leaves of the trees of paradise. So this was the swift solution which came to their mind, that what we can use to cover our body. So they went and they started to cover their bodies with green leaves of the trees of Jannatul Firdaus. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after sent them to this world to live. So they were sent down to the earth to live. When they came here, in the beginning, yes, they used libas, but this libas was very simple, and apparently people kept adding things to it until we have this concept of wearing the garments or libas, or covering our bodies with the libas or the garments. This is something very special and unique for us, the human being. Remember, my brothers and sisters, we as human beings are created and sent to this world as best of the creatures of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As it is said in Surah Teen, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu says that we have created the mankind in best of the statures, best of the form and fashion. Nobody can give a better concept of the creation of mankind. We are gifted and bestowed with a lot of dignities, like we have 2 arms and 2 legs. In the beginning we start crawling on the ground and we use all 4 of them. Eventually we get strength and we start to stand up on legs, on foot. And then we start to walk and move. So after that, almost throughout our life, we keep walking on 2 feet, and we don't need to put our hands on the ground to walk like other animals. This is also a dignity which Allah Jalla Jalaluhu has gifted us with. If you compare yourself to some other living beings, you will find a lot of dignities and differences which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us and gifted us with. Like other animals, they have to bow down to food and drink. They have to bow down their head to eat their food or to drink the water. Not us, the human being. Our body is created in such a way that we could lift up our food and we could bring close to our mouth as we do. So we eat food without bowing down to the food. Allahu Akbar. And this is a very important point, my dear brothers and sisters, to tell us that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us in a dignified way. In fact, He do not want us to bow down to these things. He wants us to bow down only to Him. وَارْكَعُوا مَعَ الرَّاكِعِينَ. Allahu Akbar. We bow down in ruku to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with those who bow down to Him, worshipping Him. So we are created to worship and bow down only to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are not created to bow down to food or anything else. But this is a beautiful thing to understand, for us to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us so great. We are gifted. خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ عَلَّمَهُ الْبَيَانِ. We are gifted with another special blessing, which is bayan. Bayan means ability to express your feelings, to say or to tell what you feel, what you want to say. Allahu Akbar. This ability of bayan, there are many languages in the world, and people speak those languages. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put these words in our mouth, in our mind. So we can say, we can talk and express our feelings. Not only that, some people are deaf and dumb, they are mute, they are unable to say these words, but there is a solution for them, the sign language. So they still have ability of bayan, right? So in any way, we are created and put into this world in a dignified way, and bayan is also one of the distinct capability which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gifted us with.
Communication.
Allah.
Communication with each other, communication and say exactly how you feel and so on.
Yeah, so bayan, the communication, ability to communicate to each other and to tell others what you feel or what you want. This bayan is gifted only on us, the human being. Well, there are many other points. I will discuss one or two again. I will emphasize on the libas, inshallah. We see in this world big animals of big size, like the camels, elephants, these big animals. And these animals are controlled by us in many cases. Elephant or the camel, they act according to their trainer, how they want them to do the things. You will see here in Trinidad, I didn't see any elephant or camel, but other places where they have the camels and elephants, you will see little children riding over the elephant. They are trained in such a way, and mankind has trained them in such a way that they are obedient. So little children, they put them to ride over the elephants and the camels.
In Trinidad, we don't have elephants and camels. So when you go to the zoo, where you have all those wild animals, you will see that, I have seen this with my own eyes. You see, like, some trainer will be walking around with a big snake around their neck, and they will give people the whole little children around. I'm not going to hold those things. I'm scared of those things. But you see that even the animals that are big, snakes are dangerous. But you see some snakes probably about 12 feet long, and there are children holding it.
I saw that.
And so, so that will give an indication to the people who are listening that here it is, even Trinidad, you have animals that you can see that the training that they are provided to those animals, they become very obedient.
Right. So this is one of the point which tell us that we are great in this world. Mankind is the great creature of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have the dignity which others don't have. 8 or 10 years old boy will hold the rope of a camel and walk him wherever you want to go.
Yes.
So this is, you can compare the dignity of human being over other creatures of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The last point is that one of the things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has dignified us with is libas, the garments, the ability to cover or the shu'ur or understanding to cover our bodies. Ya Bani Adama, O children of Adam, We have created you and we have revealed on you the understanding of wisdom to wear the dress and the libas, garments. قَدْ أَنزَلْنَا عَلَيْكُمْ لِبَاسًا. We reveal on you the garments. So this is one of the God's revelation on the mankind, that we understand libas, or we have ability to wear the libas or the garments to cover our body. There are two purposes mentioned in this ayat of Quran. Libasain yuvari sawatikum warisha. Yuvari sawatikum means the libas or the garments cover your shames, warisha, and it make you look beautiful. These are two purposes why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed these garments on us, or given us or gifted us with the ability or wisdom to wear the libas and garments. It should cover your shame. There are areas in the human body which we should not like to expose to the other people. And this is also something which make us different than other animals in this world. Make us different. We are given with shu'ur or wisdom to wear the garments, others not. The animals, they live nude. Nobody care, nobody think. Because they are created on that nature. And they don't have the wisdom or ability or they don't understand the importance of wearing the libas. So they are just one tail to cover their shame. And here we are gifted with libas, all kind of libas, different colors. We have different colors and fashion, and thick one and thin one, and according to the season, everything. This is sign of the dignity of mankind over other creatures, that we can wear the garments. Now, I want to emphasize on this point here, that this is why we should disrespect the sign of dignity in us.
Yes.
We need to wear libas. Libas or the garments will always make us look beautiful and will make us to cover the parts which we should not expose to the other people. So, just a reminder, like some people ask, like what is the concept of garments or wearing the apparel in Islam. So I quoted ayat of Quran, and I think nobody will disagree with this. I quoted ayat of Quran, but no one from other religion can say that my religion teaches nudity. No religion, no ethical school of thought will teach nudity. This is something like we as mankind. Yes, we are sent here by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but in certain ways we want to live with freedom which is not allowed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is not allowed, which is not liked by the Creator. The Creator has sent us to this world, and He has sent some rules, laws and revelations which tell us how He wants us to live in this world. And one among them is that God Almighty has created us in the best of the statures or the form, and then He has sent us or created us and sent us into this world with a lot of distinct sign and dignities.
That we are superior to other creations.
Subhanallah. Yes, brother Shiva. And one among them is libas, your apparel, your garments. So we should not neglect this part. We should not like to look like the animals. Allah. This is what I want to share with you. People always have these questions, and yes, we need to clarify, right? Feeling happy, Islam have no problem with that. You can feel happy. Share love, share your happiness with others. You feel happy, getting together, making others happy. No problem with that, right? But some areas where uh, the dignity of human being is violated. I will put it in this way.
Yes.
Some areas when dignity of human being or dignity of a mankind, God gifted dignity is violated, Islam do not allow or have no tolerance for this kind of activities.
Like, for example, you want to have a good time with your friends and family. Nothing is wrong with that.
Nothing
but stay
wrong.
away from the alcoholic beverages.
Yes, and these things which are no, alcohol is something which nobody, no serious people like you medical go to medical science, right? We will be very neutral in understanding these things. We don't want to force the people,
Yes.
for anything. But if you go other than Islamic point of view, you could go to medical science, you could go to the wise people, any wise school of thought or people who think wisely in the human history.
Yes.
None of them will be, found in this kind of activities, and they will always tell you to stay away from this thing.
They would never be in a drunk state of mind.
Yeah. All the great people those who contributed with a great contribution to the mankind or to the life of the people, you will not find them the drunk people, right?
And also they would make sure that they cover their shame properly.
Yes, of course, yes.
So in trying to express all the freedom that you might want to have, as you have the power of choice, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
Almighty Allah has given you the power of choice, but He has also gave you instructions and regulations by which you shall live.
Yes, and my dear brother Shahzad, in the end, as you remind me, we are created and sent to this world for a limited time.
Yes.
And our last time is in the knowledge of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have no access to know that what is expiry date on us.
Yes.
Our expiry date is in the knowledge of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We know our birthday, we celebrate it, we feel happy. I just want to make mention of a friend of mine who died 2 days back. Very close friend of mine from Rio Claro area, and his name is Shaban Ali. He was a retired police officer, and Alhamdulillah, he started to think more about hereafter in the end part of his life. Few years, like last, about 10 years, so on. He more focused on the hereafter. Start to learn Quran with me and start to practice Islam. We will need namaz whether at home or come to the masjid. He was very close to me when I used to live in Rio Claro. He was very close to me, very helpful, because I was, away from my homeland.
Yes.
And some people really share a lot of love with me, and they try their best to make me feel comfortable or feel, with family, away from family. And Uncle Shaban Ali, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless his soul, he was basically from beach area and a very big family, large family. Some of his brothers and his nephews and Ali family, the big family, they live in Arima, Sani Grandi and Rio Claro and all that area. The whole family was very good to me, very respectful to me, and they love me and make me like part of their big family. So we show our condolences to the left behind, the children of Brother Shaban Ali, and we make dua. He had a smile on his face. Yesterday we had the janaza. I could see that smile on the face which tell you that man is happy, he is going to a better place.
He was preparing for
yes,
it.
Yeah. He was preparing. That's
and we too must try our best to prepare for that day.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes.
I left this message with the people who are there for the funeral service. I left this message. I say, I am speaking and giving a message, but Brother Shaban Ali is also giving you a message, and I believe his message should have more influence on you than mine. His silent message, he is leaving a message with you, and that message is, look at me. And unexpectedly we got a call and we got the news that he is no more in this world. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him for all what he have done good in his life, and especially for sake of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of Islam. Yeah, Jazakallah khair.
Mufti, you spoke about that silent message, and sometimes we need to take cognizance of that